Growing up for me has been very hard. I use a lot of my strength, and it comes from my inner personality to keep going and keep pushing. It was all a mental game. Even when flipping those tires, I like scream and get all like, I got this, you know? It's a way I learned to like relieve some of that stress, to just flip it and just keep going.
She hasn't had it easy. She was in the foster care system. It never felt like she belonged, and so she was always seeking that sense of belonging.
It was about 6 different foster homes. I didn't age out of the system. I was adopted into a foster family, but over time became not so good. Leaving that foster home was the hardest thing I could have ever done. And I walked out the front door at 2 a.m, so I didn't have any altercations with them. I was scared because I didn't know what was gonna happen. I didn't know where I was gonna live. It was scary. Knowing that I'd be able to come back to school, knowing that you'll be here to kind of look back on everything, kind of really helped me get through it.
When Elektra would come to us and explain that she was having a hard time paying for things in her life to survive, we explained to Elektra, we're here for you. Let us take on some of that burden.
Sometimes it was impossible to actually look at the bigger picture. There was times where I was just like, I'm working, I was still coming to school, that at a point I had to say I couldn't do this anymore. I would have dropped out of school by now. I wouldn't have the encouragement to keep going. But then I had that one little safe room in our little tiny closet to know that everything was gonna be okay. When I graduate, I plan on going into the Army. There were so many doors shut in my face, not just with the military. I kept telling myself I would repeat everything everyone has ever told me, that I couldn't keep going, I couldn't do it, to the point where I said, I'm gonna prove them wrong.
And then we said, well, let's see what we can do. Let's go ask people and find out the answers. We then went and connected with the school counselor and getting her connected to a recruiter that was able to ultimately help her look into waivers.
But when I found out that Army was a go, I don't think my story's gonna end. I think it's just the next chapter. So even though I get to that point where I have my uniform on and I graduate boot camp, I'm still gonna keep going.
I'm extremely proud of Elektra. She's overcome so many things and she's still here. Even on her hardest day, she still comes. For Elektra, sky's the limit.
There's no words to describe how much she's done for me. Just when I needed someone to cry on, just when I needed a room to just go and just let everything out, she was there. We should continue to support CIS because sometimes when a kid has nothing, that program means everything.